basically we are doing is we have interactive and learning and experiential based sessions through which we are giving different activities, like it can be fundraising, it can be other activities. And then the third element is the entrepreneurial mindset. So basically, your fellows are working on the mega projects, just like you guys might be working on your final year projects, right? So it is kind of similar to that. So us mega projects mein basically what we are doing is our fellows are generating the revenue as well as an impact, right? So, for example, I have recently facilitated a batch, and all right. So, guys, can you please mute yourselves? Right. So I will tell you guys about the mega project that was like the highlighted of our batch, right? The winning mega project was about Har Saya. So basically, what the fellows have done, they have basically created an app. And through this app, basically, whenever any female is getting harassed, she is going to press SOS in her app, and all the family, friends, all the relatives that are near her are going to help her out, right? So this was one of the mega projects, and of course, you guys can always reach out to us. Yeah, you guys can always search for different mega projects, right? Now, moving towards the other structures of this fellowship. So we have two batches, like we have online as well as on-site. So on-site batches की classes में you guys are NEDians, आपके लिए बहुत ये plus point है कि NEDians की classes civil AV hall में हो रही होती हैं, not the AV hall, the classroom that is opposite to the AV hall, right? So of course, we understand you guys don't have much time during the weekdays, so we have our sessions on weekends, right? तो सैटरडे संडेज को सेशंस होते हैं, एंड द टाइमिंग्स आर 9 till 12 एंड 3 hours के सेशंस होते हैं. और वीकडेज में यू गाइस आर सपोज टू कंप्लीट वेरी स्मॉल और इंटरेक्टिव बेस्ड प्रोजेक्ट वर्क्स और मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स पे आप लोग काम कर रहे होते हो, राइट? नाउ मूविंग टूवर्ड्स द अदर थिंग दैट इज द कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर. So this whole fellowship is of 60,000, but of course you guys do not have to pay इतना ज़्यादा amount, क्योंकि as I mentioned कि 3 entities थी जिन्होंने इसको sponsor किया है और वो subsidized हो गए, right? So वो subsidized होने के बाद it is only 15,000. So you guys can choose the lump sum payment. Lump sum payment choose करोगे आप लोग को तो फिर आप लोग को 10% discount मिल रहा होगा, and that makes it around 13,500. Or you guys can always pay for like 5,000 each one. And then of course we have scholarships. So scholarships में ये होता है कि either based on the financial conditions of the students, अगर आपको पूरा प्रोग्राम जो है सिर्फ लाइक 3 months 4,000 के हो जाएंगे, 5,000 के हो जाएंगे, 10, 20, 30% डिस्काउंट्स जो है वी आर ऑफरिंग. नाउ वाई, व्हाट्स द वाई बिहाइंड दिस फेलोशिप? अगर मैं आपको इतनी इसकी बातें बता रही हूँ, सो वाई यू माइट बी वंडरिंग कि वाई शुड आई डू इट, राइट? सो द थिंग इज communication skills is very very important. If you guys feel like you can communicate with your friends and you call that a communication skills, no, that is not the communication skills. But what my understanding of communication skills is that if you guys can go and interact with a stranger, like literally a random stranger, and you can network with those people, and you can be interested and being interesting, right? कि आप उनके बारे में जान सको, अपने बारे में जानवा सको कि आप क्या कर रहे हो. So that is what communication skills is, right? And talking about the success rate, so as soon as our fellows are graduated from this fellowship, we have a success rate of 81%. So हम लोग ये कहते हैं कि 81% of our fellows are getting job. It can be a job, it can be an internship, it can be a broad scholarship, right? So I hope I have covered everything. And that being said, the applications of this fellowship are live. I will highly encourage all of the NEDians to go for it, to apply for this scholarship before the deadline ends, right? The deadline is 29th March. And if you guys have any sort of queries, you guys can, always ask in the chat box. And we have our Amal ambassadors. आपको दिख रहा होगा कि उनके backdrop पे Amal का logo लगा हुआ है. So they are, really excited and they are all ready to answer your queries. So with that, I will stop over here and I will hand over the floor to my colleague, Sir Ammar Abbassi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Anosha. And it's so great. Definitely not. It's not great to wake up on Sunday. But I think what's greater is that being able to see 100 plus people on your screen. And I think having this opportunity, so we had a little tough time given, the challenges at NED, because it's closed, Ramzan ki wajah se. And then again, most of the students have like gone back to their cities, but it's such an opportunity, honestly, to be able to connect with so many people. And I think again, credit simply goes to Asia and her team. Um, the way you guys like did such great marketing and like kind of like access people through the fellowship as well. So before I move ahead to what I'm going to talk about, I want to talk about the sense of accessibility as well. Um, and accessibility is a privilege for so many people, right? Um, reach is a privilege for so many people. But how societies like NED Scholars, because the way I got an opportunity to hear about all your projects, I think again how you are making opportunities like be accessible to people who deserve it. That is something beyond appreciation, because at the end of the day, what people think that there are no opportunities. Um, a lot of us are actually going late during graduation or post graduation trauma. So it's not just a mere fellowship or a mere collaboration between NED Scholars and Amal Academy, but it's also, I'm hoping, that it will be a first step towards substantial impact, inshallah. So with that, I am really excited to have a conversation with you guys for next 40 minutes, and I will be talking about LinkedIn and why LinkedIn is so important right now. Why are we not talking about anything other than LinkedIn? So it's going to be very interactive. My few hopes from all of you would be that let's just keep it more interactive, okay? Because I would not know whatever I'm saying, okay, if it is landing well or not. Another recommendation and encouragement is if you turn on the camera, because that will help me understand where the conversation is flowing, right? So let's just make this 1 hour as one of the most important hours we have. And with this, I would like to throw a question towards all of you, and that is, how many of you actually have LinkedIn? Feel free to raise hand. All right. So as far as I can see, it's a lot of people. I believe at least 40 people of you 40% of you have LinkedIn profile, and that's a great thing. And I think this way around, we can have like more fruitful conversation, given the fact that you at the same time can also kind of like analyze your own LinkedIn. So a recommendation from my end would be keep your LinkedIn profile open with you, maybe on another tab or maybe on your phone. So you can also kind of, kind of like create that comparative analysis between what we are talking about and what you have something which you can call as a growth area. Now all of you can just leave your hands now. And now my another question would be, it's good and great to have like a LinkedIn profile. How many of you have actually really active LinkedIn profile? Other than Asia, whom I know, she has a very active profile. And also, Yashvin, you are a great host.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
So I think we had like around 40% people having their hands raised, and now we hardly have 10 people who have their LinkedIn, which is like very active, other than Amal alumni, right? Or Amal fellows. And that is fine, right? I think I would like to again open the floor. Let's have a conversation. Why do you think existence on LinkedIn is very important? So we'll be talking about existence of LinkedIn. We'll talk about enhancing that visibility on LinkedIn, and then we'll talk about how to leverage that visibility and connection to be able to gauge, those connections. So anyone who would like to, turn on their mic, feel free to let me know. Why do you think LinkedIn is important?
ओके
I
मैं
think
बताना
I
चाहती
would
हूँ।
like,
All right. So based on nanosecond, I think the girl spoke first. Let's go for her first, and then I will go for. All right.
मैं ये बताना चाह रही थी कि मुझे लिंक्डइन इसलिए ज़्यादा मतलब मैं स्टूडेंट्स को कहूँगी मैं फाइनल ईयर में आ गई हूँ और व्हेन आई वाज इन सेकंड ईयर तो मुझे मैंने एक कोर्स किया था एनईडी स्कॉलर्स ने करवाया था माइक्रोसॉफ्ट पावर बीआई का और उसके बाद फिर हमें एक NED स्कॉलर्स की तरफ से ऑफर हुआ था। डेटा एंड डैशबोर्ड एक कंपनी है, वहाँ पे हम लोगों ने टेस्ट दिए थे। बट मैं उस टेस्ट में फेल हो गई थी क्योंकि मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी में एक प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा था जो कि मेरे लिए ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट था उस वक्त। बट इन रमज़ान मैंने उस जो टेस्ट मुझे मिला था, मैंने वो डैशबोर्ड बनाया और मैंने उसको लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट किया और जो हमारे सीईओ थे उनको टैग किया। और बस मैंने समझे पोस्ट ही किया था। और अफ्तार पे बैठने गई थी मैं। उसके बाद फिर मैं अफ्तार पे उठी हूँ और उनकी कॉल आई कि आपने इतना अच्छा डैशबोर्ड बनाया है, बस आप आ जाएं। तो इट वाज लिंक्डइन जिसने मुझे वहाँ पे हायरिंग करवा दी। और फिर उसके बाद 6 महीने की मैंने वहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग ली। तो इट वाज अ वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस। तो मैं अपने जूनियर्स को भी ये कहती हूँ कि अपनी प्रोफाइल मेंटेन रखें और हेजिटेट ना हो। ये ना सोचें कि कोई आपको देख नहीं रहा। पीपल आर हंटिंग एंड दे आर वॉचिंग यू।
Thank you so much, Ayat, and I think again that helped us understand why having visibility is really important on LinkedIn and how it has also kind of bridged the gap between people despite and beyond their designation as well. And I really hope that this trajectory goes up only inshallah for you. There was another guy who wanted to talk about it, maybe like Abdul Rahman wanted to share your experience. Over to you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Can you repeat the question, please?
No, I think your hand was raised, so I was just asking if you have any question.
No, no. I raised my hand when you asked if I have a LinkedIn ID or not.
Perfect, perfect. All right, thank you so very much. I think if we do not have any other responses, I would like to move ahead. And I think again, the way I had mentioned how LinkedIn was able to connect her with a potential recruiter and how she was able to kind of, despite deadline nikal gayi hai, she was able to break that. That is how LinkedIn is, right? Oftentimes we think that just having an existence on LinkedIn is fine, right? Just like आपने अपना नाम बना दिया, profile cover letter लगा दिया, and that's it, right? But there is a thing called SEO as well, right? How searchable you are, how easily you can be identified, and then how after that, you are basically building that, connection and leveraging out of it. That is important. With this, I would like to, मैं बिल्कुल भूलिए कि मेरे पास slides भी है. So I think I should share the slides as well to back my, words. And just give me. All right. Can you guys please confirm if it is visible? Yashvin, can you confirm?
Yes, it is visible.
Perfect. So the first thing definitely is that your networking and your network is basically your network, right? But here is the question. Do we have to have 100 people in our network to be able to actually call them as our network? Oftentimes what we think is that, if I know 100 people, or if I know 200 people, especially if I'm coming from a society like NED Scholars, or I used to be the president of Karachi University Business Society. So people like us who are the part of any society or volunteering, they get to meet a lot of people and they have a very wider network. And that is true that it helps you creating that lead, it helps you creating that, leverage and, connection as well. But are all our, networks are relevant? Can we call all of them as our, worth? Once again, I would like to pause here and I would like to take response from you guys. What do you think why LinkedIn networking is important or how we can build the networking? I'm trying to make it like more interactive to ensure that we are adding, the response from both of them. So you can use chat box, you can feel free to turn on the mic. Okay. Would anyone like to speak? All right, I think I'll take the lead again. I एक चीज मैं बिल्कुल भूल गया वो ये था कि I had to give a little introduction of myself as well. And while I'm serving as a program manager right now, I think before that I worked on several projects of using the seniors first aid on education, social impact, non-profit. What I'm actually trying to, create a parallel right now is that when I was a student, I had a fair share of privilege to, kind of represent my university across. I was a national level speaker. I won around almost 60 public speaking awards. I was a double gold medalist. I have a master's in political science from Karachi University. I've been recognized as a young change maker. All of this बोलने को sounds very fancy, right? When you are a student and I used to host a radio show as well. All of this sounds very fancy when you are a student because oh my God, you are not just confined to classes. You are gauging a lot of opportunities and achievement as well. But a sense of realization for me was when I was in university, I thought that as soon as I'll go out of my university, jobs will be ready for me. Or people will actually be, open to have jobs for me in both of their hands. And actually that was not the case. Despite of all these accolades and achievement, it took me 9 months to get my first job. Right? Especially someone, who has been the forefront of a lot of places. that that's where I realized that how post graduation trauma hits you, right? And I think one of the reasons that when I was able to analyze was that while I had a lot of exposure and experience, I just did not know how to present either through LinkedIn or through resume. And that's the kind of parallel I'm trying to right now build. It's not necessary that you should have a lot of experience or you shouldn't have any experience. It's also about how you are portraying it out there, right? Acha, again, if you would have any question, please feel free to pause me. I would be happy to do so. But this is something which is really important to know. Again, how to present your information or how to connect with people is really important. Moving ahead, how many of us actually feel this way? So when you'll go on LinkedIn, everyone is flabbergasted, everyone is thrived, everyone is, either outshining or fostering or excited. And I just do not get why would you just be always excited? So anything they would do, they'll be excited. And that's where you feel that whatever you are doing, that might not be as important, as big as other people are thinking, right? Or maybe sometimes we think that we do not have as such experience to share on, LinkedIn, or sometimes it also feels the experience I have, am I just like, oversharing it? Am I just like overselling it? And then sometimes we also kind of like gaslight ourselves as well. Once again, I'll open the floor to you guys. What is your experience with that? Do you feel comfortable on LinkedIn? Or do you feel that everyone is just like faking around? Yeah, guess. Yes, Mariam.
सर कैन यू प्लीज रिपीट योर क्वेश्चन? आपने बस यही बोला ना कि आप लिंक्डइन पर कंफर्टेबल हैं या नहीं, शायद।
सवाल मेरा ये है कि do you guys also agree with the fact that LinkedIn has become very fabricated and everything is just very artificial, and then we feel that everyone is just doing so much and we are someone who are under experienced and we should, something like that.
सर मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जिनका मुझे लगता है कि हाँ बस लाइक चैट कुछ ना कुछ पोस्टिंग करनी है तो चैट जीपीटी से कुछ भी बनवाया एंड देन पोस्टिंग कर दी। बट कुछ होते हैं ऐसे जिनको मैं जानती हूँ पर्सनली, उनको मैंने फॉलो भी किया है। उनकी पोस्ट वाकई बहुत ऑथेंटिक होती हैं, पढ़ने में बहुत मजा भी आता है, और उनसे ही मैंने इंस्पायर्ड होके फिर अपनी भी पोस्ट में खुद से क्राफ्ट करती हूँ और कोशिश करती हूँ कि बिल्कुल ऑथेंटिक हो, जो मैं हूँ ओरिजिनल मेरा वर्जन ही होना चाहिए। तो मिक्सचर है, बहुत सारे लोग जो नए नए शायद आते हैं लिंक्डइन को, उनको लगता है कि बस पोस्टिंग करते जाओ चैट जीपीटी से, और उसका अंदर बस समझे आपको वो थोड़े बहुत थ्रिल टू समथिंग लाइक इस तरह के वर्ड्स होते हैं, और
Hmm.
अंदर कोई खास इतना के काम होता नहीं। तो दोनों मिक्सचर होता है मेरे हिसाब से, जितना
Yeah.
मेरी ऑब्जर्वेशन।
Exactly. Thank you so very much, Ayar. And I think again, that's where, when you start having LinkedIn, you realize that, everyone is either very successful and that makes us feel like, यार, ये ये प्लेटफॉर्म जो है मेरे लिए नहीं है, राइट? या हमें लगता है कि शायद यहाँ पे मुझे इतनी इस तरीके की लीड्स नहीं मिल पाएंगी, या आई फील वेरी अनफिट इन द रूम और मिसफिट इन द रूम. आई वुड लाइक टू गो टू Mariam. Mariam, you want to add something? All right, perfect. Uh, if not, I'll move ahead, and I would like to ask you guys who these two guys are, for these two guys. Feel free to use the chat box. ये जो दो हजरात स्क्रीन पे मौजूद है, ये कौन है? स्टीव जॉब्स, स्टीव जॉब्स, मतलब दूसरे भी हजरत हैं, वो कौन? And you do not have to do the chat GPT or AI or Google search. All right. Okay. So another question is, who are these two guys?
एलोन मस्क एक है तो दूसरे का पता नहीं, इंडियन है शायद।
इंडियन है। ओके। तो दोनों उसमें आपने स्टीव जॉब्स बता दिया है, एलॉन मस्क बता दिया है। अब सवाल ये है कि ये दो हजरात हैं, ये क्या बना जो आप लोग इनको नहीं जानते? एनी गेसेस? असगर।
Uh, क्या बना in the sense, sir? In
सवाल
your
ये है कि
personal.
so you
Mhm.
so my question is, who is the second guy? The first one is Steve Jobs. Who is the second guy? And the first one here is the second one is Elon Musk, and who is the first one? So I think uh, you have the answer with you. The first one was Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, and the second one was Elon Musk and Martin Eberhard. Um, I think I'll not read it out loud, but in both the cases, with Apple again, and with Tesla, Steve Jobs के साथ, Steve was there, and then with Elon it was Martin, right? What Steve did and what Elon did, they both heavily invested their time, energy on PR and connection and networking and their own visibility at the same time, right? And at the same time, Steve Wozniak or Martin could not, spend that much time. Halanki they both are equally, credible. They both are equally founder as well, and that states simply, that while each of you, knew about Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, you did not know, at the same time, people who were the driving force behind these two people who are like world famous, right? So when we think that, someone from our level, from a student level,
I think the host is disconnected, so kindly confirm.
all right, was I kicked out of the meeting?
I don't know what happened. Let's just continue.
Uh, I guess there is some technical glitch from your end because I'm just like continuously getting kicked out from the meeting. But I'll just like start regardlessly. And Anusha just like back me up as soon as I'm not here. Should I start? Yes, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Perfect, perfect. Apologies for inconvenience, everyone. So I was talking about, Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. Well, we know these two people, but we did not know कि जो दो लोग बाकी हैं, they were the driving force of their success where they are today, actually. And that is what is about, basically marketing your own visibility. A lot of us, have been seeing people around us, who might not be as, competent. And I think competent is a very heavy word, but I think they have like relatively more growth areas that you see. But the way they like kind of like market themselves, that is something which you feel, hey, yeah, their networking is great, right? They market themselves great. And that is how, LinkedIn basically bridges that gap. कि किस तरीके से, you need to and you can basically build your enhancement as well. Okay. I would like to quickly move ahead. So when we talk about LinkedIn profile, what do you think are some main features in LinkedIn? And again, the question is towards you guys. कौन से ऐसे फीचर्स होते हैं LinkedIn के अंदर जिनको हम बेहतर बना सकते हैं, जिनको हम enhance कर सकते हैं, especially when we are talking about LinkedIn optimization या it's SEO engineering. The question is towards you guys again. I'm throwing questions towards you guys so you can draw a
The
parallel between your LinkedIn and the existing protocols. So yeah, what are some main features of it?
the very main feature is the tagline, I guess. The very first
Okay,
impression.
tagline. Do you want to talk a little more about it?
So
Okay,
shall I
so
speak?
LinkedIn, please go ahead. LinkedIn's about section and tagline. This is what Alam is saying. Yes, Ayat.
अच्छा मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर आपकी स्पेसिफिक कोई प्रोफाइल हो, लाइक जैसे मैं आईसी डिज़ाइनिंग की तरफ जाना चाहती हूँ और उसी में मेरी इंटर्नशिप जॉब वगैरह है, तो मेरा प्रोफाइल उस हिसाब से ही मॉडिफाई डिज़ाइन होना चाहिए, ताकि अगर रिक्रूटर्स वगैरह हंट कर रहे हैं तो उनको एक ऐसी प्रोफाइल मिले जिसमें उनको मैक्सिमम वो चीज़ें मिलें जो कि वो चाह रहे हैं। अगर एक जैसे होता है ना, लाइक थोड़ी मिक्सचर सा है, कभी कुछ, तो वो प्रोफाइल इतनी अच्छी नहीं लगती। और
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा एक कलर थीम भी थोड़ी सी अट्रैक्टिव होनी चाहिए, लाइक जैसे जिस
Hmm.
तरह का आपके डीपी है उसी तरह का आपका बैनर हो। थोड़ा सा डिजाइन और कंसिस्टेंट आपकी प्रोफाइल होनी चाहिए, जैसे वीक में आपने वन पोस्टिंग करी एटलीस्ट। तो इस तरह की चीजों को अगर आप फॉलो करते हैं तो यू हैव अ गुड प्रोफाइल आई थिंक। इस तरह से आप अपना अच्छा प्रोफाइल रख सकते हैं।
Perfect, perfect. So again, you talked about frequency of posting. You also talked about how color coordinated a LinkedIn should look like, how often again visibility matters, and at the same time you talked about the deviation of content within the same LinkedIn profile. कि अगर आप उस LinkedIn profile में सब कुछ ही डाल रहे हैं, so जो आपके पास viewer आ रहा है, that person is not gauging much out of your LinkedIn, and I think all of it is pretty much very much authentic. And thank you so very much for adding on. I would like to now move ahead. Before again me moving on, anything that you guys like would like to talk about? Now we have talked about the frequency of posting. We have talked about the tagline. I think Anam talked about section. But other than that, okay. So someone is saying this shows your passion, and I now will move ahead with showing you guys what relative and important features are. Um, can you guys see my screen by the way?
अच्छा, एक और चीज शायद कि जैसे हमारे पास डिफरेंट सेक्शंस होते हैं ना लिंक्डइन पे, वॉलंटियरिंग के हो गए, स्किल्स के हो गए, एक्सपीरियंसेस। तो वो सारे सेक्शंस आपके बने हुए हों तो आपका एक प्रोफाइल थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है। अगर आपके पास एक दो सेक्शंस हैं लाइक स्किल्स और एजुकेशन, तो वो इतना अच्छा नहीं लगता। अगर सारे सेक्शंस वेल मेंटेन्ड हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा लगता
Definitely, definitely. And can anyone please confirm me? Okay, so you guys are confirming me that my screen is visible to you guys. मुझे ना थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल ग्लिच होने से आ रहा है आसिया आई थिंक यू गाइस हैव अ स्पेस ऑफ 100 पी जिस वजह से बीच में एक दो बार ड्रॉप आउट हुआ ना, उस वजह से हुआ हूँ कि शायद कोई और ज्वाइन हुआ होगा एंड आई एंडेड अप लीविंग राइट। तो और मेरा ख्याल है कि अगर मजीद लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हो they might not be able to do that because 100 लोग capacity है। This is what I feel. I can be wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the issue
but
for now.
yeah. Yeah. So if you guys would want, we have a premium version and that has like a space of 300 people. So that's organizers discretion to decide. But I think इस वजह से ना जो लोग drop out हो रहे हैं वो सदस्य हो रहे हैं. So without further ado, I think I can start. And Anusha, you can take the lead with the coordination about logistics. And I will now move ahead, everyone, in order to ensure that we are on time. So when we talk about features, these are few important features, and this is one of our fellow at Amal, with whom we kind of took support in making this a little dashboard for you all. So first thing definitely is your profile picture, how your profile picture looks like, how visually appealing it is, but visually clean as well. I'll go into detail of everything, and then the second one is definitely your cover photo, your banner, how your banner would look like. The third one is, I think Azhar mentioned, it was the tagline. How again appealing your tagline is. The fourth one is about, like Anam mentioned. The fifth one is featured, which oftentimes we do not talk about. Moving ahead, we also have um, the sixth one definitely is, your activity section. कि आप कितना ज़्यादा active हो, कितना ज़्यादा posting कर रहे हो, like Ayat mentioned, and then again उसकी frequency क्या है. Seventh one is the experience. अभी हम ये बात करेंगे कि experience को किस तरीके से enhance करना है. Problem ये नहीं है कि हमें information डालना. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उस इन्फॉर्मेशन को किस तरीके से डालना है कि वो आपकी विजिबिलिटी को बढ़ाए, और उस विजिबिलिटी को बढ़ाने के बाद जिन लोगों से आप कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं उनको कन्विंस कर सकते हैं. Okay. Eighth definitely is recommendation. Okay. You can see on this even LinkedIn profile there are lots of recommendations. So if I'll start from here, oftentimes what we basically think, and what I basically see is people using their शादी की फोटो या हॉल में खींची गई फोटो या ईद पे खींची गई फोटो on their LinkedIn profile, right? Or maybe their selfies, or maybe their graffiti images, and that's actually a major red flag for a recruiter. Um, you basically need to again professionally set just a headshot. Can anyone tell me what headshot is? What headshot is? Okay. I would really like to see more questions about things. I would like to see and encourage actually, curiosity. After is saying it's a passport type photo. Another thing, a lot of people actually upload their passports photo and their CNIC photo, and the photo with the blue background on their LinkedIn as well. So, do you guys think it's nice? Do you guys think that it is doable? Like doable to sab kuch hai, but is it something it is landing well to recruiter? Yes or no?
No.
No. All right. So the whole point is headshot basically आपका होता है, you starting from your head, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा space आपको छूटना होता है, and then till your basically stomach, ठीक है, and then again your headshot is basically your profile, where you do not have cluttered image, right? A lot of us basically add a group photos of friends, maybe like we are doing emojis or anything, right? Your profile picture is the passport picture of your professional visibility, and you definitely would not want to have a CNIC feed photo on that because none of us look good in our license. So just imagine that, right? So having said that, your profile photo is really important. अब सवाल ये कि क्या हम सबके पास DSLR कैमरा है? जरूरी, ठीक है. हम सब लोग अच्छी फोटो ले सकते हैं, बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं, ठीक है. हम वो कैसे ले सकते हैं? आई थिंक इवन इफ यू हैव अ बेसिक एंड्रॉइड, it's like go, ठीक है, have a photo till your stomach, a headshot photo, ठीक है, wear a coat and use AI for the background images, ठीक है. बहुत सारे लोग वही वाली बात कि शादी की तस्वीर लगा देते हैं, ठीक है, उस पर लग रहा लिखा दिख रहा होता है कि पीछे दूल्हा दुल्हन बैठे हुए, ठीक है. Do not do that. So use AI, ठीक है, use a lot of, there are different background removers and background approval platforms as well, okay, you can use that as well to make it look more visually appealable. और उसमें होता ही है कि आपके पास कुछ कलर्स होते हैं, मिसाल के तौर पे ब्लू हो गया, येलो हो गया, which are mono colors which you can use as a background of your profile photo as well. एक सवाल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, खवातीन जो निकाब करती हैं या वो हिजाब करती हैं, you still can, so okay, you do not unnecessarily have to show your face, so yeah, because as long as there are religious or cultural norms and requirements, right, you can still honor them, and if you're comfortable you can put your naqabs photos, okay, as long as you are comfortable, right? Because this is around, I think a lot of our female fellows that Amal are also using their naqab photos as well, because that is something to be very proud of, right? That is something to always embrace about. So I think you can always, be, you can always use that and ensure your visibility at the same time as well. I would now like to move ahead towards cover photo. A lot of people, what they basically do, अब दो तीन तरीके का होता है cover photo. When I'm going to your cover photo, um, either people are not having anything or they have everything, right? What you need to ensure is that your cover photo has a call of action, okay? It has something about you, okay? After this session, I'll be sharing my LinkedIn as well. For some, people, they basically use banner, and in the on that banner they basically talk about their niche. मिसाल के तौर पे अगर हम फयाज की यहाँ पे लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल देखें तो उसके कवर पे बाकायदा लिखा हुआ है कि he is into widgets and design automation, right? Your AI design and finance consulting, right? Up now, it is not a lot of information, but it is very catchy at the same time as well, right? So you can use one way of, the cover photo like this. Another way is, if you do not have something like this, or if you do not have any service, basically to offer. So if you do not have any service to offer, you still can upload your photo or the photo of your academia or of something that has to do with your academia or profession. ठीक है मिसाल के तौर पे अनुषा is from textile engineering. ठीक है अब if Anusha doesn't have anything that has to do with uh, um, again, her banner, her services, her using something related to textile, right? That would regardlessly back her, profile. So, misal to pe agar main, if I'm looking at Anusha's profile, I would directly know कि अच्छा, she has like textile की photo, or aspiration about textile, and that is like the relevance of her and her career, right? So, if you are a service provider, you definitely can use that as a photo. वे जहाँ पे हम फयाज की प्रोफाइल देख रहे हैं, but at the same time, a lot of people think that we do not have any service to provide, right? We have not been very much active that we have like these photos. You still can talk about your aspirations and anticipation. Moving ahead, I would like to talk about a second. The third one is, designing your tagline, and this is really important. Oftentimes, what we basically do, we add everything we do, right? By everything, it is the number of internship I have done, a humanistic, peaceful change maker, for instance, or maybe XYZ enthusiastic. This is what people do, right? Your tagline should basically be, either a liner, one liner, or should be about your fortes. Fortes basically कि आपके दो तीन चार तजुर्बात क्या हैं या आपकी again main skill set क्या है आप उसके बारे में मेन करते हैं and then you use one line. Oftentimes what people do, they just talk about NED student. That is their tagline, or NED scholar, right? You basically will decide what kind of information do you want to provide to your recruiter on a first glance. And on a first glance, Neha. Okay. So, and if on a first glance, I am not getting much of the information through precise, tagline, I think that would not work out. Shadib, you want to add something?
Excuse me, sir. Can you please make me the host? We have to live cast it on the Facebook.
You want to go live? Okay. Second,
Yes.
Askia, Shadib, you're from NED Scholars, right?
Yes, I'm from.
Perfect. All right. So you're going for the
Really,
rest of the people. Yeah, please, Askia.
really sorry, sir, for these technical issues. He's there to solve it, inshallah.
Thank you. I think we are doing great. We are already doing great. I think our success थोड़ी ज़्यादा हो गई है, so we have to expand the logistics. But I think great job. Um, I'll now like to quickly move ahead towards the tagline. Oftentimes we do not use proper tagline. या तो हम टैगलाइन यूज ही नहीं करते या तो हम बहुत एआई जनरेटेड टैगलाइन यूज कर रहे होते हैं both of them are major red flags. Okay, now how you can actually enhance your tagline is basically either in a one line you talk about the service you are providing or the potential you have. Okay? The potential you can have, for instance, again, a civil engineer. You can be a civil engineer who is aiming to rebuild the urban planning. For instance, this is your tagline. Okay, and then again within that, the fortes can be your some of your major skill sets. Okay, um, and then again, moving ahead, please avoid using ChatGPT. A lot of people also use emojis on AI on your tagline. Do not use that unless it is also kind of like backing what you are saying. Moving ahead, I would like to talk about section. Again, I am not against of using AI. You should use AI, and if you will not use AI at this point of time, I think you will stay way behind. The point is using AI while also ensuring that your tonality is original, your words are original, and they're connecting with the audience. That being said, use your about section. बहुत सारे लोगों का about section सिर्फ दो लाइनों का होता है. If I ask you guys, a lot of you would say कि my about is I'm an NED student. who are you other than an NED student? We should take a lot of pride on it. In it, we should be very proud of the kind of work we are doing at NED Scholars. But other than that, if I am coming to your profile, who are you, right? And the question is, if that's where you need to kind of analyze and you need to kind of like connect dots about your own experience previously, currently, and if it's fine if you do not have any experience, then you talk about your anticipations and aspirations, right? Anticipation और aspiration ये चीज होती है कि क्या चीज आपने करनी है, उसके तहत आप अपने फ्यूचर करियर ट्रेजेक्टरी को बना रहे हो, ठीक है? दिस वे अराउंड बेसिकली यू गेट more relevant connections and leads, and you are able to add more information on your about section. I would like to now pause here because I think we have talked more about content and would like to open the floor for questions. Do we have any questions today? Do we have any questions? Perfect. And if you do not have it, or if you have them, or you're like this kind of figuring it out, कि सही सवाल है कि नहीं, so maybe like just like keep jotting it down with you, and you can have them like later in the session as well. I would now like to move ahead and want to talk about your featured. Um, featured basically होता है ये कि when you are active on LinkedIn, you basically post about something, right? And when you post about it, you want your recruiter to basically look at it as a first thing. But problem ये कि मैंने तो एक साल पहले डाला, okay? Feature is something that is the most relevant, impactful, and recent achievement which you want your recruiter to look in the first glance. While again, no recruiter go to your, they do not scroll your LinkedIn throughout एक डेढ़ साल तक, ठीक है? They see like तीन चार posts and then they just like move ahead, ठीक है? So it's you who basically decide कि मुझे अपनी LinkedIn profile पे कौन सी post को feature करना है, so this is on the top. And this basically is your portfolio. The portfolio you are trying to showcase to your recruiter, to the person you are, pitching or the client you have, right? So that being said, having portfolio is very important. And on LinkedIn, the portfolio is your future profile. I think after this, like I said, I'll be sharing my profile as well, so you guys can also kind of evaluate what needs to be, improved, but at the same time, how I am using each of the features. Moving forward, um, all right, we have talked about featured activity and at the same time activities. Like I had mentioned, the problem with LinkedIn is either people are just trying to copy paste, LinkedIn post, and I do not get that. Why would you do this? So all, so there is this one post and it had like 1,000 views shares, and I literally saw everyone reposting it or also copy pasting it. And that was okay. I kind of rejected an employee. I kind of rejected a candidate three times, and fourth time I gave that candidate an opportunity. And then when I gave that candidate an opportunity after 1 year, that person turned out to be a success for business, and the job helped him a lot in his career trajectory as well. So the reason and the lesson from this, post basically is came, do not just think that people who are coming with no experience they cannot do it. So never बहुत अच्छा लगा. This sounds very fancy, but the problem is 1,000 people literally copied pasted it, and all of them are HR. What I'm actually trying to say right now is that you should be active on LinkedIn, but you should also create a very original and authentic space for you. Because again, what you are saying should be your definition of how your experiences are unfolding, right? So you should be active on LinkedIn by posting, okay? Of what you can post, you can definitely talk about your experiences and activities. Again, if you are at university, say if you are, for instance, today's session is something that you can definitely post on LinkedIn, because that showcases that you have a life beyond your academia and you are also engaged with community services as well, right? Or maybe like collaboration or beyond university projects as well. So moving ahead now, ensure that you have at least once a week posting, especially when you are in early careers. Like I have like 99 people right now who are in their early careers. So at that point of time, you need to enhance your visibility. You can talk about your activities, you can talk about your volunteerism, you can talk about your internship maybe, or maybe you can talk about your anticipations as well, or maybe like sometimes thought processes as well. Sometimes we think that we do not have anything to post about, and we think because of it, because everyone around on LinkedIn is just posting so much professional that we feel that we are missing. And what we will talk about that will not be taken seriously, right? But that's not how algorithm thinks. That's not how algorithm analyzes, your information. Algorithm thinks based on the engagement you are bringing, right? So having those activity section is important because through this activity section you get engagement. People comment, people respond, and then your profile, expands and you bring more leads. Again, so let's utilize that, activity section a bit more effectively. Moving forward, आपके पास एक और important section है, that is experiences. अब experiences में अगर हम इस वक्त जाए फयाज की प्रोफाइल पे, तो फयाज ने इस वक्त बहुत ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन डाली हुई नहीं है, ठीक है। फयाज ने एक्सपीरियंस में क्या किया हुआ है कि करियर प्रेप फेलोशिप, he started from there or here, and then he at the same time talked about a few skills and again the photos as well. One thing that could have improved was basically identifying a few experiences within that role. मिसाल पे अगर वो अमल फेलो था तो उसने क्या दो तीन चीजें सीखी, so as a recruiter when I'm looking at your profile I can gauge कि अच्छा as an Amal fellow this is what is something you can uh, you have been doing, or maybe when you are a secretary of climate change at your parliament पाकिस्तान, कौन से दो तीन प्रोजेक्ट थे जिन पर आपने काम किया है, या अगर आप एनईडी में रहे हैं, एनईडी स्कॉलर में रहे हैं, या अगर सोसाइटी के पार्ट नहीं भी है बट अगर आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपने किन दो तीन प्रोजेक्ट पे काम किया, दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Moving forward, again now is the point ke what you are writing and how you are writing. You do not write a job description, you basically quantify the impact of work you are doing. By quantifying the impact of what you are doing is basically आप उसको लिखते इस तरीके से हो कि जो सामने वाला उसको पता चलता है कि जो आप काम कर रहे हो इससे किसी न किसी तरीके का इम्पैक्ट जनरेट हुआ है. मिसाल के तौर पे इफ आई वाज यशवीन और आसिया और मे बी आयन, मैं ये करता कि मैं आज के सेशन में का स्क्रीनशॉट लगाता और मैं लिखता कि as a vice president of NED Scholars, I hosted a webinar of 100 people that aim to bridge the gap between, university and industry, right? Up now, what people do, they do not talk about their achievement. Okay, people do not actually explicitly mention their experiences at the same time. So that is something which is equally important. And now recommendations. Recommendations also enhance your credibility and eligibility. अब मसला ये कि मुझे कौन रिकमेंडेशन देगा. No one knows me. If I'll ask someone, they'll ghost me. So I think one of the thing is ask from your friends to give recommendation. Um, ask your friends, ask your professors. You can always have a message feature towards recommendation. And also my recommendation personally is कि whenever you're sending a recommendation message to anyone, please customize it up. एक तो उसका already एक auto message होता है LinkedIn का. But when you're not making other person feel personalized and customized about you, no one would spend a lot of time recommending or maybe actually writing something that may be like more detailed. So ये सब take recommendation from your fellows. मेरे पहले दो जो recommendation थे वो मेरे volunteers के थे when I was also in society. And then afterwards take from teachers, and then you'll have like more of your colleagues, and then you can like expand that to connection as well. I think that these were few of the features about LinkedIn profile. These are few do's and don'ts about LinkedIn and the images as well. I think needless to say, we have already talked about you know कि आपकी प्रोफाइल टिल्टेड होनी चाहिए. अक्सर लोगों का जो ना ये वाला हिस्सा जो है जॉ लाइन तो अच्छा आता है, कुछ लोगों का ये वाला अच्छा आता है, दे आर लाइक कि मेरी साइड में फोटो लो, बट एट द सेम टाइम व्हेन इट इज अबाउट योर प्रोफाइल फोटो इट शुड ऑलवेज बी your headshot, but it should be your front end as well. Okay. Right now, even here, for instance, again, lighting matters a lot. Please use Google Lens. Google Lens also kind of help you, removing the clutter as well. I have been remove to share the slide. Can you guys look at it, please? So again, that is one of the things. Lighting बहुत matter करती है. Use Google Lens to enhance the lighting of your photo. Use Google Lens to remove the cluttered part of your photo as well, right? And at the same time, again, headshot में आपको सब चीजें लेने की जरूरत है. The more the information, okay, the problem is the more it distracts the reader as well, or the recruiter at the same time. I would like to request the organizers to give me the sharing access. I think now I have it.
Okay, yes, you have it.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think with this, we are almost done with few more information. This is basically a cover photo. So when we say if you are offering a service, how you basically can enhance your chances to be more visible and to be able to connect with leads. मिसाल के तौर पे, I'm someone who is looking for a lead. I need people to provide me information as easily as I can. Okay, so I do not have to skim through all their profile. If you see this profile, it has a call to action, and that is like DM me for projects. Okay, what kind of project? इन्होंने लिखा हुआ है कि again design that empowers founders to grow their brands. People who Fayaz has worked with, the past collaboration, for instance. आपकी picture that can be the part of your personal cover photo, and again definitely services. अगर आप इनकी सर्विसेज देखें तो इनकी सर्विसेज में मौजूद है UI UX डिजाइन, ब्रांड डिजाइन, सोशल मीडिया एंड प्रोटोटाइपिंग. So it is totally up to you, and you should be basically explicitly talking about what services are you offering. And by service, it's not just freelancing. Even when you're working somewhere full time, you're basically providing your services. Now you being more explicit towards this is equally very important. um, After this session, I will give you a few prompts as well, which you can use. But if you use this LinkedIn post, this is one of the typical ways of using, LinkedIn to post about it, and it is fine. Like मेरे साथ मसला ये होता है अक्सर औकात कि I have a very strong writer blog, and a lot of us have writer blog. Yeah, maybe we have something to talk about, but we do not, and then we end up feeling like, yeah, it is not like it's not like maybe like worth it, or maybe if I'm talking about it, it might not get that engagement, right? But this is one of the template, which you can use. And in most of the LinkedIn profiles and the templates, basically, you always have a hook, you always have an engagement. But in this poster, you can see the information is very much, concise, but at the same time comprehensive. And if I'm as a reader reading it, I'm not feeling that it's a lot of information. It is not very cluttery as well at the same time. But here is the thing, you need to also ensure that you can, while use AI for refining, it is not overpowering your tonality. I would like to repeat it, and at the same time, you are not overly using the emojis, because that way around it also kind of kills the purpose of original and authentic reading as well. Before I move ahead towards the three prompts, and then I'll conclude the session, I would like to now move ahead towards माय प्रोफाइल, ताकि हमने ये बात तो कर ली है कि किस तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन एक स्लाइड में लिख रही होती है, बट नाउ यू कैन सी माय लिंक्डइन. कैन यू गाइस सी माय लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल? Maybe show me thumbs up, anything.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. Up now, I feel again there is a lot of space to grow in my LinkedIn as well. But what I have been doing, and I think I would like to create a parallel as well. And again, मेरी recommendation आप लोगों को भी ये कि अपना भी LinkedIn साथ में खोलें. You see, this is the headshot. ठीक है, द हेडशॉट, और ये आपकी एनएडी यूनिवर्सिटी का ही है, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट का. I used it. I kind of like used this filter, but before that, I was using like a brighter one, right? But if anyone is coming to my profile, and I am someone who is in their mid-career professional management, right? So I'm not someone who is starting their career. So I can take the risk of using a photo which has, shadow or which is dark, but you guys cannot, right? You guys need to use the brighter colors at the same time. While I do not have the explicit, again, sales banner, okay, but my banner is very much talking about that I have been a TEDx speaker, and I have intentionally used that. If anyone is coming to my profile, they would know that the kind of work I'm doing without me explicitly mentioning through words. And it is like there through, again, a photo that is like from TEDx setup where I was a speaker, right? Moving ahead, this is basically the tagline. तो बेसिकली इस वक्त हम दो केसेस पे बात कर रहे हैं. एक जो फयाज का केस था, जिसमें इंफॉर्मेशन वाज लाइक वन लाइनर, या जिस तरीके से यूजुअली एआई पे होती है, और एक जो मेरी प्रोफाइल है. सही है, दोनों प्रोफाइल डू एग्जिस्ट, दोनों प्रोफाइल आर गुड. अब मिसाल के तौर पे आई हैवंट यूज्ड वन लाइन कॉल ऑफ एक्शन वाली चीज जो लोग टैगलाइन में करते हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम आई हैव यूज्ड माय पोर्टफोलियो. ठीक है, मिसाल के तौर पे आई कम फ्रॉम अ प्रोग्राम एंड नॉन प्रॉफिट मैनेजमेंट. माय forte is social impact and civic leadership. My experience has been into cross cities and cross border dialogue. Yeah, youth and education system. Moving a little down, this is the about section. Up now, here I have definitely used AI, but have I like kind of refined it? I refined it like multiple times, right? On this part, I have ensured that I'm making it very organic. very authentic, but at the same time I'm also having a space कि अगर आप मुझसे collaborate करना चाह रहे हैं तो किस तरीके से कर सकते हैं. तो ये so I think this way around they will also have like more information about me, more possibilities to kind of connect with me. Okay, this is one of the feature if you're freelancing. What LinkedIn basically offers you, you also kind of offer your services. तो services में होता ही है कि you can list the number of or the name of skill set you have, and people can kind of connect you for that. तो मिसाल के तौर पे कोई ग्रांट राइटिंग के लिए मुझसे रब्ता करें, दे कैन पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, करियर डेवलपमेंट, कोचिंग, लीडरशिप, रेज्यूमे, इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन, and globally people are looking for opportunities like this. Consultant like these can offer their services as well, right? So they can always connect with me. तो बताने का मकसद ये है कि this is also one of the feature of LinkedIn which people are recently using. I would like to quickly move ahead towards activities were a part. अच्छा, एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, अगर आपको मेरी प्रोफाइल इस वक्त दिख रही हो, प्रोफाइल पब्लिक प्रोफाइल में यूआरएल, आप लोगों की पब्लिक प्रोफाइल की यूआरएल का मसला ये होगा कि क्योंकि वो कस्टमाइज नहीं है, तो अगर आप अपने पास देखेंगे तो आपकी प्रोफाइल में होगा ये मिसाल के मोहम्मद अमार अब्बासी मेरा लिखा हुआ है और उसके आगे 10 नंबर लिखे होंगे, 4 5 7 8 ABCDEF. ठीक है, you can always go on to profile URL and you can customize it. Okay, तो आप अपनी प्रोफाइल को कस्टमाइज करोगे अपने लिंक को, so this way around it will look more professional. ठीक है, वरना आपकी प्रोफाइल जो है it has like a lot of numbers. Quickly we talk about featured section. अगर आप मेरी प्रोफाइल में देखें, अब मैंने बहुत सारी चीजें पिछले सालों में की हुई है या कुछ चीजें रिसेंटली की हुई हैं, और उसके बाद मैंने इन्फॉर्मेशन में मजीद आगे पोस्टिंग की हुई है. So my point is कि I want to talk about whenever if someone is coming in, I want them to be inspired or just to look at the first thing which I have done and which for me right now is important is like these things. Okay, so I've like put them onto my sections. Okay, and that's like a whole list. This is the activities. Okay, so I try to post at least once a week. I try to keep it more organic, like more connected to my field. My field is basically again program management, youth engagement, education, career development, and at the same time, facilitation and dialogue. So these are few things you need to ensure that you are actively posting. अब मिसाल के तौर पे मैंने एक महीने में 5 बार पोस्ट किया, and I have been able to gauge good 3 hours engagement. So this way around, every time when you post, you also expand your network furthermore as well. यहाँ पे मैं बात करना चाह रहा था experiences के हवाले से. अब मिसाल के तौर पे a lot of people what they do when they talk about their experience, they just tell here कि मैंने यहाँ तक काम किया हुआ, but that is very important. ठीक है, कि एक तो ओके यू टॉक अबाउट द स्किल सेट कि इस एक्सरसाइज एक्सपीरियंस से आपका स्किल सेट क्या अचीव हुआ है, बट एट द सेम टाइम कौन सी 3 मेजर चीजें हैं. अगर मैं आपको अमल अकेडमी के बारे में बताऊं कि मिसाल के तौर पे while serving as Amal Academy as a program manager, I'm looking at start to end the whole basically project cycle, for instance, right? Or maybe how many people I have trained, or what do I do as a marketing lead. And similarly, if you go to my profile, at least four experiences I've ensured that I'm adding bullets. Okay, um, my education definitely that's there. You can add your license and certification. Another thing is projects. People do not talk about their projects when they are students and they are volunteers, or even when they are working as a freelance. Please talk about your projects as well. Talk about your volunteerism. Um, volunteerism को हम बहुत ज्यादा अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं, बट whenever you'll be applying internationally, you will be get receiving more benefit out of it, or you'll be receiving always an upper hand because you are someone who is coming from a community exchange experience, right? A community service experience, and they definitely look for someone if you're applying for a master's program. Um, if you have been the part of your community, the problem with our students is, and I've has been when I was a student as well, we are very much classes confined, and that is the part of our whole education system. We are very much confined with classes, but we do not look at the major part, and that is like there is a beyond the class learning as well. And last but not the least, I would like to talk about the recommendations as well. For instance, these are some of the recommendations, but at the same time, these are few recommendations which I have given at the same time too, and honors and awards. Interests के बारे में आप बता सकते हैं. So that was a bit about LinkedIn profile, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a lovely conversation. Feel free to have the conversation. Feel free to drop questions. I think थोड़ा सा technical glitches की वजह से हम थोड़ा ऊपर चले गए, but I'm still happy to answer the questions. And thank you so very much to all the ambassadors. I could see you have been answering a lot of answers as well. मैं meanwhile questions देख लेता हूँ. I would like to give the floor to Asya, to you back. And now what we can basically do, we can talk about our fellows, how their experience has been with Amal Career Prep Fellowship, and then we can talk about the next cycle as well. So with that, asking over to you, Yashvi, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, our guests, for taking out your valuable time and sharing such insightful knowledge and practical guidance with us all. Your experience and advice will surely help many students in building their professional profiles and exploring better opportunities. Also, I would like to thank Amal Academy and their ambassadors for their continuous efforts in empowering students and providing such learning opportunities. Also, I would like to inform everyone that e-certificates will be distributed within 1 week after the session. As we come towards the end of the today's session, I hope that everybody found this webinar informative and useful. Before we conclude, I would like to invite Hafsa from Metallurgical Department to share some words about Amal Academy.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this is Hafsa, and I'm a final semester student from NED University from Metallurgical Engineering. जब मैंने Amal Academy join की थी, so I had only two goals in mind. One was that I needed career counseling about whether to apply for jobs or whether to continue my studies abroad. I had only these two goals. But after joining Amal Academy, it wasn't just about these two goals. The fellowship itself, the people there, the facilitators, they were all really, really, the type of people who would help your personality grow. तो अब मेरा जो गोल था वो बेसिकली था कि यार मुझे करियर काउंसलिंग मिल जाए या मेरी जो जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट्स है या जो मुझे बाहर पढ़ने जाना है तो मुझे उसके हिसाब से नॉलेज मिल जाए, मुझे वो तो मिल ही रही थी साथ साथ, लेकिन इसके अलावा भी चीजें हुई। जैसे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमारा जो अमल एकेडमी का पहला कोर्स था वो ये था कि knowing yourself. Now this wasn't part of my goals and I was just thinking कि ये क्या हो रहा है, but now coming to the end of the fellowship I am realizing that it was really really needed. अगर वो नहीं होती ना चीज तो at the end of the fellowship I would just know about the resume or LinkedIn or everything, but I wouldn't know how to apply it to my personal growth or my journey. So people who are like applying right now for Amal Academy, I would want to say that this is a worthwhile experience and you must have it because it does not just help you, refine your LinkedIn or resume and everything, but also helps you grow as a person. This is it from my side.
Okay, now I would like Farhan from Civil Engineering Department to share something about Amal Academy.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So this is Farhan Ali from Civil Engineering Department, NED University. So I will share a little about my Amal journey. So to be very honest, when I joined Amal, I did not know what to expect. I did not know what abilities and potential were hidden inside me. But this fellowship actually helped me to discover skills within myself that I was not aware of before. Like I had a great experience in this fellowship. It was just for 3 months, but I learned a lot from this. So one of the most valuable experience was the mock interview. Like I'm in third year now, so हमें पता नहीं होता कि like जॉब के लिए requirements क्या होती है, हम खुद को कैसे अच्छे तरीके से present कर सकते हैं, और हमारा मकसद सिर्फ ये नहीं होता कि हम अप्लाई करें, हमारा एक्चुअली हमें होता है कि वो अपॉर्चुनिटी ग्रैब करनी है. So it was a very like informative session about the mock interviews. We had like expert from the industrial experts who conducted our interviews related to HR interview and technical both. So हमारी फील्ड से रिलेटेड थे वो लोग, सिविल से भी आए हुए थे, तो वो मुझे बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव लगा था और मुझे बहुत हेल्प की उसने. लाइक मुझे एक्सपीरियंस हो गया कि अब लाइक अगर मैं जॉब के लिए जाऊंगा तो मुझे पता है मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी कैसे ग्रैब करनी है. और उसके अलावा ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग जब मैंने ज्वाइन किया था उससे पहले मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था कि रेज्यूमे और सीवी में लाइक क्या डिफरेंस होता है या कवर लेटर भी कोई चीज़ होती है. मैं सिर्फ मुझे यही लगता था कि हम बस जाते हैं और सीवी सबमिट हैं. मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था कि रेज्यूमे या कवर लेटर भी कोई चीज़ होती है. तो आई ऑल्सो लर्न दिस थिंग, हाउ टू राइट प्रोफेशनल cover letter, resume, how to build your connections with industrial professionals, and how to secure a position instead of just applying randomly. So I had a very great experience, and this was all possible just because of the supportive and motivating environment created by our program manager Sir Ammar Abbassi and program associate मैम Anosha. उन्होंने बहुत सपोर्ट किया, बहुत मतलब सपोर्टिव थे, बहुत मोटिवेट किया उन्होंने। जहाँ जहाँ पे अप्लाई कर रहे थे उन्होंने like without any hesitation बहुत उन्होंने support the fellows I get like मैंने 3 सालों में इतने अच्छे यूनिवर्सिटी लाइफ में भी इतनी अच्छी मेरी बॉन्डिंग नहीं बनी जितनी मेरी 3 महीनों में अमल वालों के साथ बनी है। सो आई वुड हाईली रिकमेंड यू के ज्वाइन करें ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म, आपको मुझे तो नहीं मिला आज तक। सो दैट वाज ऑल अबाउट फ्रॉम माय साइड, थैंक यू।
And Farhan, please clarify this is not a paid review.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hafsa and Farhan, for your precious words. Thank everyone for joining us today and being such an amazing audience. Take care. Now, I would like the president of NED Scholars, Mohit, to share a few closing words. It's all from my
Can I
side. Thank
request
you.
Yashvin? I'm really sorry. Can I just interrupt a little before we
Yeah,
move
sure.
ahead towards president, because I want him to do the closing parts. I just quickly want to talk about the fellowship and NAD. So we right now have 700 alumni from NAD across in last especially 4 years. My recommendation for NAD people is you need to ensure that if you're applying, please do that by today the end, because we already have 65% application from NED. The moment we'll have like rest of it, while we have space for 100 application, but only 15 to 20 people will be selected from NED. That being said, that will be on first basis, given as soon as we have like quality application and quality cohort. So you need to ensure that you are applying by the end. Askia is here, she's our ambassador. He will definitely be sharing more information with you all. But my hope is that a lot of us are great with technicals of field because we are coming from engineering background. But when it is about communication, when it's about soft skills, we kind of like lag between it and behind it. So please try utilizing that. Again, your financial status should not be holding you back from an opportunity. Like Anusha said, that there are different fee variation as well. Right now, a certain amount of Amal alumni across Pakistan, they are on financial 100% financial waiver as well. Right? So please do not think that you'll not be able to make it because financial strains are there. At the end of the day, the only thing that we want uh, is your commitment. You need to ensure that you are committed to the fellowship, and it's not undoable, but at the same time, you I think that 96 people who are right now here, they are very much well deserved, right? But at the same time, you need to ensure that you are also doing justice if you are selected for the fellowship with with your designation and with your student. So once again, apologies for intervention. Yasmin. I would like to give the floor and thank you so very much to the organizers for having us, for hosting us. Uh, Great job once again, our ambassadors. It was great having you answering all the questions. If anything is left that you feel like you want to talk about, feel free to reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile, or you can reach out to us your issue and they can direct it to me. Thank you so very much. Over to you, Yashvi.
Yeah, now Mohit bhai will
अस्सलाम
take over.
या मैं कंटिन्यू करता हूँ यहाँ से। अ, सबसे पहले तो शुक्रिया अम्मा भाई आपका और आपकी टीम का कि आप लोगों ने आके यहाँ पे अलग करा और बात डिलीवर कर। एंड द लास्ट सबके लिए एक बात जो अम्मार भाई ने आखिरी में कहा, जो अभी इट्स वेरी वैल्यूएबल, इट्स वेरी वैल्यूएबल। अगर आप समझें पैसे बीच में नहीं आना चाहिए एजुकेशन के लिए, पहली चीज। दूसरा क्या, अगर आपको मिल ली ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी तो आप कमिटमेंट में आए लो, ये स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जिन्हें ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल गई थी, ठीक है। ऐसा जो प्रोग्राम्स होता है ना, जैसे अमल अकेडमी में कर रहे हैं, ये एनईडी स्कॉलर्स जो हम कर रहे होते हैं, वो ऑब्जेक्टिव ये होता है कि एनईडी के अंदर एक चीज का बहुत बड़ा एज है, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स। क्योंकि हमारा जो मेजर डोमेन होता है ना, टेक्निकल साइड होता है। कैलकुलस उठा के करवा लें आप, डीएसए करवा लें, ठीक है, अपने डोमेन में बहुत नॉलेज होगी आपको, लेकिन आप इंटरव्यू में बैठते हैं ना जब आप, तो आप डिलीवर नहीं कर पाते एट ए टाइम। से कि आई नो पता है, बट हाउ कैन आई डिलीवर अबाउट इट ना, कि किस तरह करें। तो ये गैप जो है ना, कवर करने की हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो ऐसे ही एनईडी के अंदर भी हमारे पास एनईडी स्कॉलर्स के अंदर हमने डोमेन्स क्रिएट करे हुए अलग अलग एज अ वॉलंटियर स्टूडेंट्स जो कर सकते हैं। नो डाउट और सोसाइटीज भी हैं जो एंटरटेनमेंट के साथ साथ सॉफ्ट स्किल्स भी प्रोवाइड करती है, जिससे उसे जिसके थ्रू वहाँ पे भी बच्चों को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है इंप्रूव करने की। लेकिन एक प्रोफेशनल जो होता है ना वो बहुत कम है। प्रोफेशनल का मतलब क्या मैं बताता हूँ। एक गैदरिंग आपकी सोशल गैदरिंग एनआईटी के अंदर ऐसी है जो अपने उम्र के बच्चों के साथ है। बहुत ज्यादा हार्डली एलुमनाई अगर आपको मिले इनिशियल स्टेज में 5 साल का एक्सपीरियंस होगा, 6 साल का एक्सपीरियंस होगा इनिशियली में बता, जो आपको सोसाइटीज के थ्रू मिलता है। लेकिन जैसे एनईडी स्कॉलर्स जहाँ पे ना आपको एक्सपीरियंस मिलेंगे 10-12 साल वाले, मोस्ट ऑफ देम जैसे हमारे पास एनईडी के अंदर है, एनईडी स्कॉलर्स के अंदर। तो इससे ये पता चलता है कि प्रोफेशनली आपने किस तरीके से बिहेव करना है, किस तरीके से डिलीवर करना है, क्या जवाब देना सही रहेगा इंटरव्यू में। अगर कोलीग की आपस में बात है तो आपको लिमिटेशंस क्या रखनी है, बाउंड्रीज क्या रखनी है, ये आपको ना प्रोफेशनल लोगों के साथ रह के रहेगा। सेशन लेके आपको समझ में तो आ जाएगा, ठीक है, लेकिन टाइम लगता है। ये बात आसान है। तो इट्स अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी अमल ने जो अभी प्रोवाइड करी, जो बता रहे हैं आपको। दूसरा एनईडी स्कॉलर्स भी है इस चीज़ के लिए कि आपको सॉफ्ट स्किल्स प्रोवाइड करता है। आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग कि अमर भाई अमल अकेडमी को कितना टाइम हुआ है?
So, Amal, I think it was founded in 2014, and right now, so in I think 12 years. Yeah.
देयर इज आई यहाँ पे बता रहे थे लिंक्डइन के बारे में और किसी चीज़ों के बारे में। तो इसमें ना सारे बच्चों का इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं होता। एक मैंने देखा रीजन के वो समझते हैं कि शायद जीपी अच्छी आनी चाहिए तो अच्छी जॉब मिलेगी। जो यहाँ पे फर्स्ट ईयर सेकेंड ईयर वाले हैं ये थोड़ा सा ना इसको ठीक कर लें। जीपीए बिल्कुल जरूरी होने से डिनाई नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन जीपीए ना आपको इंटरव्यू तक लेके जाती है। उसके बाद आपने ही खुद इम्प्रूव करना होता है और वहां पे बैठ के आपने बताना होता है कि मैं इस काबिल हूँ। ठीक है। हाँ। अब ये आपको समझनी चाहिए। खैर मैं और तवील नहीं करूंगा, सबके रोजे होंगे यहाँ, ठीक है। और आई थिंक ऑलरेडी काफी देर से सब सुन रहे हैं। तो इसको मैं समराइज कर रहा हूँ कि जो भी इंटरेस्टेड है सॉफ्ट स्किल्स पे काम करने के लिए अपनी अमल अकेडमी या एनईडी स्कॉलर्स तो एनईडी के अंदर ही है। इसका अगर मैं एक हायरार्की बता दूं, उसका एनईडी स्कॉलर्स दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड है। एक है एलुमनी बॉडी जिसके अंदर एनईडी स्कॉलर्स के सारे डिसीजन और डायरेक्शंस डिसाइड होते हैं कि क्या करना है। और जितनी भी नई नई चीजें होती हैं वो चीजें हम वहाँ पे डिस्कस करते हैं। जैसे कि अभी हम नया प्रोग्राम चलाने वाला है हमारा यूके का। हम प्लान ये कर रहे हैं कि यूके के अंदर जैसे बच्चों को यहाँ बैठ के रिमोट वर्क प्रोवाइड किया जाए मैनेजमेंट। तो ये पाइपलाइन में है हमारे, ये कंटिन्यू है। जो भी इंटरेस्टेड हो वो कांटेक्ट कर सकता है। हम चाहते हैं कि बच्चों को अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले वहाँ पे, यहाँ से बैठ के। एक प्रोग्राम था इसी में मुझे याद आया, इसमें प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट करके हमने एक कोर्स स्टार्ट करा था शॉर्टली। हम ये देखना चाह रहे थे कि हर डोमेन में ना इस चीज़ की जरूरत होती है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप केमिकल इंजीनियर हो तो ऑयल एंड गैस इंडस्ट्रीज के अंदर प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर चाहिए होता है। तो अब हमने ये करके यूके और के अंदर जितने भी हैं वहाँ पे देख रहे थे कि कहाँ कहाँ हम बच्चों को फिट कर सकते हैं। तो हमारे कुछ एलुमनाई है तो वहाँ हेल्प कर रहे होते हैं। तो ये इट्स वर्किंग कि एक दो बच्चों को देखा हमने, लेकिन एक मास वॉल्यूम जो होता है ना 5-10 बच्चे कर रहे हो वो उस तरह भी नहीं हुआ। वी आर लुकिंग कि अगर नया कोर्स आता है तो हम शायद उसके थ्रू दोबारा बच्चों को लेते हैं और करें। इसमें अगेन मैं दोबारा ही कमिटमेंट बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है, क्योंकि आप एक मीडियम के थ्रू जा रहे हैं अमल अकेडमी के थ्रू या फिर एनईडी स्कॉलर्स के थ्रू या किसी किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू, तो उनका नाम हो गया था। तो इमेज क्रिएट हो, आप कहीं भी जाएं, आप कहेंगे इंटरव्यू के लिए तो आपसे पूछेंगे एनईडी के हो, अच्छा एनडी के बच्चे बड़े टेक्निकल होते हैं उनका ये वर्टिकल क्यों, क्योंकि पास में हमारे इल्यूमिनाइज ने वो क्रिएट करा है image। ठीक है। तो और भी हैं प्रोग्राम की बुकिंग फॉरवर्ड के आप पेज चेक करते रहें। और अगर कॉन्टेक्ट में स्टूडेंट बॉडीज है तो उनको, हाँ एक बात और, सॉरी मैं काट दी मैंने, मैं बता रहा था कि स्ट्रक्चर कैसा है हमारा। तो एक स्टूडेंट बॉडी है, एक एलुमनाई बॉडी, स्टूडेंट स्टूडेंट बॉडी में हम इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। स्टूडेंट बॉडी को मैं लीड करता हूँ। मैं अभी फाइनल ईयर में हूँ और मैं इसे रन कर रहा हूँ। और इसके नीचे पूरी हायरार्की होती है स्टूडेंट बॉडी की। हम सारी एक्टिविटीज देख रहे होते हैं ग्राउंड लेवल की, इस तरीके से एक इन शॉर्ट मैनेजमेंट हमारे अंडर में। तो जो चाहे वो ज्वाइन कर सकता है, इसके रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है। एक काइंड ऑफ सोसाइटी है, लेकिन रेगुलेटेड है एक तरीके से एलुमनाई के अंडर में। वो देखते हैं, फिर वो हमें चीज़ें देते हैं। हम प्रोजेक्ट्स भी करते हैं बाकायदा। एक और बात प्रोजेक्ट्स का मैं बताना चाहता हूँ। बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है, हमसे बहुत कम बच्चों को वैसे ये अवेल होता है कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट्स के प्रोजेक्ट्स आते हैं हमारे, वो भी हम कर रहे होते हैं। तो वो बच्चे चाहें तो वो कर सकते हैं। ठीक है। और अगर मैं बताऊं और प्रोजेक्ट्स हमारे पास कौन से आ रहे हैं अभी लास्टली, हाँ, एक प्रोजेक्ट और था, वो ऑन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप से था रिलेटेड। वो भी चल रहा है बड़ा अच्छा, वो मुझे याद आया, लेकिन बात यहाँ कहीं और निकल जाएगी। मैं इन शॉर्ट करता हूँ उस पर कि ऑन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप पे जो जो बच्चे चाहते हैं वो काम करना, वो भी आ सकते हैं कि किस तरीके से बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी क्रिएट करें और उन्हें फंडिंग मिले थोड़ी बहुत स्टार्टअप करने के लिए। ये एक और अपॉर्चुनिटी है। तो आप में से जो भी कांटेक्ट में है एनईडी स्कॉलर्स के थ्रू, उनसे वो बात करके क्लियर कर सकते हैं ये बात। थैंक यू सो मच अगेन अमल अकेडमी की टीम का कि वो आए, उन्होंने अपना टाइम दिया। कीप लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड कि ऐसे वेबिनार हम और कराते रहें आपके साथ। होपफुली शायद रमजान खत्म हो तो फिजिकल भी आपको हम इनवाइट करें एनईडी के अंदर कॉल वेबिनार के। थैंक यू सो मच। हम यहाँ कोई बात है
Okay.
आसिया यहाँ पे और करनी है?
Yes,
हम्म।
yes. So thank you so much, Mohit Bhai, for this detailed introduction about NED Scholars. Yes, Sir Ammar, can we take a group photo?
Let's do that. If everyone is like okay, opening their camera, let's take a nice photo.
Okay.
Also, just a request, no, not a request, just a heads up. So tomorrow, some of creators will be reaching out to you on your WhatsApp number. So please don't think that they are scammers. They are our ambassadors. They'll be kind enough to reach out to you. So while you can apply for, and we really want you to apply by tonight, but tomorrow, the first thing, these apps will see on they'll there to support you, and they'll be sharing the information on WhatsApp as well. So if you have any query related to anything, feel free to like have a conversation with them as well. Or you can do.
Yes. So can in taking a group photo because I'm not able to do that. Miss Anosha,
Anosha
can
is
you do that?
great at
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll
Thank you.
video.
Thank you.
So can we do a thumbs up? All right, we are done. Back to you guys. Back to you, Asia.
Okay, in the last, I really want to say sorry to all of the people who cannot join it or who can join late. So I'm really sorry. We will send the Zoom recording to all of them, and we will also send the messages of the Amal and how can you guys apply to the Amal. So, yeah. So thank you so much for all joining, and I'm really sorry for these issues again. So, and thank you so much, Sir Ammar and Ma'am Anusha, for this detailed explanation. It was really amazing. Thank you so much, Mohit Bhai, for and Ayat for introducing about the NED scholars as well. Thank you.
Clappers. Clappers.